must be the greatest. I told the world, I thought God ever made. The best ever.
Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with neighborhood hero Ryan Rios and Bad Chaz, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. How you guys feeling, man?
Excellent, man. Excellent.
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well, man. I'm just happy that we're together and bringing you guys episode 18, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys, well, let's get into it. Let's do the fight recap. Let's start off with the heavyweight Daniel Dubois scoring a third-round TKO over Kevin Lerena. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. I think there was some little controversy in this fight.
Yeah, man. Like it was kind of had me on the edge of my seat a little bit because I want to say Kevin dropped Daniel in the first round. I want to say he dropped him 3 times, right?
Yeah, he caught him with a good right hook to the temple, man. That really discombobulated Dubois
For like that entire first round.
Yeah, for the whole round because he was going down on lesser shots throughout that whole round, which was I think he went down three times in that first round.
Mm-hmm. And kind of what disappointed me was there was like 8 to 9 seconds left in that round,
Dude,
and they called the round, and I was thinking like Kevin could have ran up to him and just finished him off,
right?
And they didn't even give him that opportunity. They called the round,
right?
You know what I mean? And then it gets later on, and then Daniel ends up hurting Kevin.
Third
you know
round.
what I mean? And he's kind of just kind of teeing off on him, but Kevin's still able to defend himself, and then he catches him with an uppercut, and it hurts him, and then the round ends.
Yeah, the bell rings to end the round 3.
Yeah, but the thing is the ref just calls the fight.
Yeah, that's bizarre,
you know what I mean?
man.
And the round's over, right?
Yeah.
So he can go back to his corner, kind of get his wits, get his feet under him a little bit. And they didn't give him that opportunity, man. They just called the fight. So it was a little controversial to me. And but it was great action, dude. Nonstop action. But I would have liked to see, the ref giving Kevin the chance to continue, but that wasn't the case in this one.
Yeah, it seemed like Daniel Dubois really saved his career, man, because losing this one would have really set him back. Now, if I'm wrong here, Bad Chaz, wouldn't you expect? Dubois was landing a combination towards the end of that round. He lands that hellacious right uppercut, snapping his head back.
Yeah, it was like a whiplash effect.
It was like a whiplash effect. Yeah. Brutal. And he goes into the ropes. The ropes kind of holds him up. But the bell rings to end the round, right? And then the referee stops it.
Yeah.
So am I wrong thinking that, hey, the referee should have let him go to his corner to recover, right?
Yeah. That was just totally bizarre to me. I don't know what that referee was thinking. Yeah. I think that whenever the end of these fights, I think that they should start interviewing the referees. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, they interview the fighters. Hey, let's get a quick little statement explanation from him on what he did, whether it was good or bad. I mean, maybe that might help with some of these decisions that these guys are making.
Yeah, because that's odd, right? I mean, these are trained referees. They know what that bell means. They know it's the end of the third round, right? They get a minute in between rounds to recover, and get instructions, whatever. So just for him to stop it right after he hears that bell, I don't know. Maybe it happened so fast that he didn't hear the bell. That's the only thing I can think of. What do you think? Never hear Ryan Reels?
Honestly, like if they stopped it there, why didn't they stop it before that even happened? Because that guy was dropped 3 times. You know what I mean? Like
Dubois, yeah, right.
So it's just kind of confusing to me, and I would definitely contest that fight and figure out what's going on because, man, dude, that's just a disappointing outcome. You know what I mean?
Right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. As exciting as it was, like you said, there was a little controversy and odd outcome. Yeah. Well, nevertheless, congratulations to Daniel Dubois on a third round TKO over Kevin Lerena. And of course, the main event of that London card on ESPN Plus, we had the return of WBC and lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury successfully defend his title against Derek Chisora for a third time, guys.
Right.
It was what can we say? Tyson Fury just did his thing with him, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He had his way. It seemed like, he kind of looked like he might have given Chisora like a round or two, you know what I mean? To kind of
take it easy.
Feel, like he was involved in the fight, you know what I mean? But for the most part, Fury just had his way with him. You know what I mean? He kind of landed every punch that he threw at him and walked around.
Right? Yeah. And I felt bad for Chisora, right? Did you see that? I mean, the beating he was taking.
Yeah, like you said, he just put a beating on him. You know what I mean? And I told you guys, like, I want Fury to fight Usyk, and I want him to go in there unscathed. But the only thing I was worried about was Tyson Fury, like, busting up his hands, breaking his hands.
Right, hitting that skull.
Yeah. Because, man, it was brutal, dude. I can't believe it went on that long. So.
10 rounds, right? Because it looked like in the fight, like by the third round, Chisora was ready to go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like if Fury would just turn it up, he may get him out of there. But it looked like he was just content with, hitting him here and there and just letting the fight continue. Yeah. But that's bad for Chisora, man. 38-year-old, at the end of his career. Hopefully he doesn't, he doesn't suffer any long-term damage from that, because that's a beating, man. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Tyson Fury. What are you hoping is next for him, man?
Oh man, Usyk.
Right, we're all hoping for.
But you know what? I mean, who knows how long that's going to be now? Because Fury had mentioned something about having problems in his right hand and his right elbow. So I mean, he's going to have to take care of that and rehabilitate and stuff. And I mean, I don't know how soon we can get that fight. Maybe later next year or something.
Yeah. But it needs to happen, man. I mean, they need to stop.
I'm thinking July, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking July.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's enough time for Fury to heal from those injuries. We look forward to it, man. 2023 looks very promising, man. All right, guys, let's move on to the card from DAZN. This was out of Glendale, Arizona. Action-packed card, guys. We had a lot of great prospects and veterans. Let's start off with Fresno's own Marc Castro earning a unanimous decision over Maickol Lopez. Marc Castro looked sharp, guys. Yeah. Very active, threw tons of punches. Man, what do you guys think?
I thought he looked good, like you said. He was super active. You know what I mean? He fought a durable guy, dude. So he had to throw everything that he had at him. You know what I mean? And the fact that he went 8 rounds, dude, is a good thing in my opinion. You know what I mean? He got that test. He got that chance to, just use whatever he had to get the guy out of there. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the guy out of there. But man, he tried and he gave it his all. Yeah. And I know he lost a little bit of gas in the tank, but it was because he wanted it, man. He wanted to get that guy out of there. He ended up, I want to say, dropping him in the 7th round. Yeah, right. So he just went after it after that, and he wasn't able to do it. But man, he looked impressive, dude. It wasn't even close, in my opinion.
Yeah, what'd you think of Marc Castro's combinations, Batches?
Oh, you know what? They're always nice to watch. Yeah. He has a good selection of combinations that he likes to throw to the head, to the body. He combines them all together, and they're just nice to watch him land them on some of his opponents. This guy, I thought Castro was going to go in there and handle the job faster. You know what I mean? Based on just the appearance of his opponent, but man, that kid was durable.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what? He had some good countering like check left hooks and stuff for Marc Castro.
Right, to kind of slow down,
that I think that eventually Marc can probably tighten up on his defense a little bit, you know what I mean, so that he doesn't catch some of those exchanging punches. But nonetheless, I think he looked great, you know what I mean? And it was nice to kind of see him go into a longer fight, you know what I mean? So
right.
Maybe we get to see another 8-round fight from him soon. Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, and I think his dad and the whole camp, I think what they might take away from this fight is that you don't need to go full charge every round. Right, throw the kitchen sink at your opponent, because that does, like you said, empty your gas out a little sooner than you'd hope for, right? He could have won the rounds by being, not as busy as he was. This way you don't show that you're tired. Like I started seeing, like from the 4th round on, those hands starting to come down a little bit, and by the 8th round, he looked tired. And that's the only thing I saw, and I'm sure they saw it too. Yeah. And they know I'm sure they'll adjust to where he kind of conserves his energy and becomes a fighter where he can come from less to more. Because as he climbs that ladder, you're going to need to have that stamina all the way to the 12th round and know how to control it and when to use, when to throw, and pick your punches a little bit better. And this way you don't get to that stage where you're just fatigued and your hands are, looking like they're tied to the canvas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think about that neighborhood?
No, I totally agree. And he kind of brought that up about when we talked to him last, is about taking those steps on that ladder. And you know what? I'm sure he sees it. His dad's going to see it. And he's a smart kid, dude. And he's going to figure it out, dude. And he's going to keep pushing forward. So I'm not worried, dude.
Yeah, no, but he was impressive. Like all the shots, like we talked about, the combinations is awesome, man. But he don't need to be that, busy, busy all the time. Right. Yeah. And that's something he'll learn. But congratulations, Marc Castro. Impressive victory. You did your thing, man. Yeah. Awesome. All right, man. Let's move on to LA's own Diego Pacheco. He scored an impressive second round TKO over Adrian Luna. Bad Chaz, how'd you see Diego Pacheco that night?
Oh man, you know what? It was only 2 rounds, but it was nice to watch him fight. You know, he moves around the ring really well.
Yeah.
You know, he has a nice jab, a nice cross. You know what I mean? His punches are just accurate. You know, he kind of sets up his power hand. You know what I mean? And it seems like he can do it pretty quick in all of his fights.
Right. We blinked and his opponent was on the ground. Right.
Yeah.
That was fast. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a shotgun, man. He just landed it real quick and put his guy down. So I don't know what you see in him.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that. I really liked his attack behind the jab. And like I said, once he lands, he hurts his opponent. And it's good to see that he has a killer instinct, right? Once he has that opponent hurt, he goes in for the kill. Now, my question was, when I saw that, I was thinking in my head, just be wary of his opponent throwing that counterpunch while you go in for the kill. And I think Luna did throw something back that did hit Pacheco a little bit, but, Pacheco was just, on his game and finished them off. That's the only thing, I think that, he'll learn that, once he goes to finish off his opponents, to be a little bit more defensively responsible, not going so wild. Now, I'm not saying he was wild, but, you always got to be conscious that your hurt opponent is a dangerous opponent, right?
Yeah.
Where they could just, as you go in for the kill, they could counter you and, and hurt you back. But that's the only thing I saw that just for a split fraction that, I was seeing like, oh man, if this guy decides to counter, he's going to hit him,
Right.
But I don't know. Neighborhood hero, Ryan Rios. What do you think, man?
You know what? Now looking back, I agree with you. I didn't really see that at first, but now that you're saying that, I'm kind of looking back and I'm like, you know what? You're right, dude. Like he did kind of open up a little bit. And I just figured he was dialed in because going into that fight, he just looked super confident to me, man. He already looked like a superstar to me. You know what I mean? He comes from a great camp, a great family, dude. Just sky's the limit for this kid. But you're right, dude. A dangerous opponent, dude. I mean, a hurt opponent is a dangerous opponent. Everybody has to remember that. You know what I mean? Because it's fight or flight. You know what I mean? And you're right, dude. You never want to underestimate that hurt opponent. But at the same time, dude, like he has that power, dude. He has that.
The height, the reach.
He has, dude, all those advantages, going for him. So he looked impressive to me, dude. I was just excited to see him. And again, I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, so congratulations, Diego Pacheco, on your victory, man. All right, guys. Then we move on to the main event of that DAZN card. 2 veterans. Juan Francisco Estrada retained his WBA super flyweight title with a majority decision over Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what an action-packed fight, right?
Oh, man, dude. And you called it, man. You said it was going to be a high-speed chess match, and that's what it was, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
fast.
And Estrada had the right game plan, dude. He started out early.
Yeah.
And he stayed behind that jab, dude. He kept him at distance, you know what I mean? And it was just a matter of time until Chocolatito could, kind of like figure him out and kind of dial in, and he did just that.
Right.
So the rounds went back and forth. Well, actually, it was the first 4 or 5 rounds, maybe Estrada, and then after that it was all Chocolatito for me.
Right.
And I want to say maybe Estrada stole the last round, but dude, I wouldn't have been mad with a draw. I wouldn't have been mad if Chocolatito would have won. I wouldn't have been. I'm okay with the victory now. It was just awesome, dude, and that's what we love, and that's why I'm a fan because man, those guys went after it, dude, and I can't wait to see the 4th fight.
Right. Yeah. No, and now that I'm thinking about it, you nailed the prediction well too, man.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, he called Estrada, by split decision, although it was a majority decision, it's pretty much the same thing. And I think you analyzed it perfectly, man. I think Estrada got the nod because he did take those early rounds and he finished big with that last 12th round, hurting Chocolatito to the body and just being a little more a little bit more active and more accurate. Bad Chaz, what'd you think of the fight, man?
Oh, you know what? It was just action-packed, fast-paced. It was one of those fights where, you don't want to move or get off the couch. You want to watch the entire thing. Entertaining. I think that if Chocolatito would have probably started off a little sooner, you know what I mean, trying to win those first rounds, you know what I mean, I think it would have changed the direction of the fight. But I don't think that those guys cared who won that fight. You know what I mean? They have so much respect for each other. And I mean, hopefully, we get the treat of a 4th one. You know what I mean? But man, that was just an excellent performance.
Yeah, if there's no other fights for Estrada, we could see a fourth fight. Although he is in the 115-pound division where you have Franco, maybe even Ban Rodriguez. You know, if he decides to go back up to 115. Yeah, so he has a slew of opponents that he could choose and still make great fights. But yeah, a fourth fight would be welcome. I just think Chocolatito is, aging. He showed his age, by starting slow, and that always happens with older veterans, reaching that age, and they just take a lot longer to get started. Yeah. But congratulations to Juan Francisco Estrada.
Congrats.
Great fight.
Congrats.
We thoroughly enjoyed that, man. All right, guys, it's fight week. All right, guys, let's preview the fights that are coming up this weekend. Let's start with the Fight TV pay-per-view for an exhibition fight between Manny Pacman Pacquiao versus DKU, a martial artist. I don't know. You guys excited about that? Neighborhood Hero Fighting Reels?
You know what? I'm a big Pacman fan.
Me too,
I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to tune in. I got to figure out how to tune in first. Right. But the thing is man, like Pacman's just a legend, dude.
He is,
and I know I talk trash about, Mayweather going in and fighting these YouTubers, but I mean, like, it's Pacman's first one, so I kind of want to see how he does and figure out what he's going to do next. And
then like you said, Mayweather fights YouTubers. It's like it seems like Pacquiao's always fighting the dangerous road. I mean, this guy sounds, martial artist, DKU. I'm like, holy crap, this guy, he's a fighter, right? Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Betchez?
You know what? I think I'm kind of going to entertain it a little bit. I kind of like the sounds of it. Right. I mean, Pacman, he's a badass, man. I mean, to watch him fight again, you know what I mean, is a privilege. And I mean, that Fight app, I've actually had some good experiences with it. It's actually
I agree.
Pretty decent quality, and it's not too expensive. And then, after you purchase it, you can watch it again. You know what I mean? It records it all for you.
Yeah,
so
right. Good point. I like that feature.
So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of warming up to me. I mean, what do you guys think you're going to buy it?
Yeah, like I say, it's warming up. I always do the same thing. Like right when it comes to that day, I'm like, I gotta watch it. So we'll see, man. Yeah. Awesome, guys. So if you guys want to see Pacman in action, he will be in action through Fight TV as he takes on martial artist DKU. All right, guys, let's go to the big ESPN Plus card out of Madison Square Garden. ESPN is throwing all their prospects, showcasing them in this card, man. And let's start off by letting you guys know that Keyshawn Davis, he will take on Juan Carlos Burgos over a 6-rounder. Keyshawn Davis, what can we say, Betchez? Just an excellent
former
talent.
Olympian.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's somebody to look out for in a 135-pound division.
Yeah.
He possesses like some great skills and attributes, you know what I mean, for a prospect. So he's definitely somebody you want to keep on your radar.
I 100% agree, man. Absolutely. Also on that card, we have Puerto Rican Xander Zayas. He will take on Alexis Salazar over 8 rounds. Neighborhood Hero Ryan Rios, tell our fans why we should tune into Xander Zayas, man.
You know what? He just possesses all the skills you need for a boxer. You know what I mean? I'm a big Xander Zayas fan. You know what I mean? I met him when Jose Ramirez fought Pedraza.
Oh.
We were there at that fight. Also, just a good kid, dude.
Right.
Humble kid. Just possesses speed, power, just defense, just has it all, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm looking, for him to be impressive and just put on a show, dude.
Just a natural athlete.
Just all around great, just boxer.
Yeah, he looks promising. He looks promising.
Does.
He has all the goods, and we should all tune in and watch him, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next up, we have American heavyweight Jared Anderson take on Jerry Forrest over a 10-rounder. Betchez, I think this is the first 10-rounder Jared Anderson.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that. He's just another prospect, heavyweight, somebody to just keep your eyes out on.
Yeah.
He moves around in the ring really well, has a great power. All of his professional fights, they're by knockout. So I think that, you got a heavyweight that, keep your eyes out for, you know what I mean? Because it's just gonna, in a couple years, he's gonna be fighting some of the bigger names. So definitely interesting guy.
All right, guys. That brings us to our main event, guys, where we have Teofimo Lopez versus Sandor Martin over 12 rounds. Neighborhood Hero Ryan Rios.
You know what? Teofimo to me has kind of been inactive, dude, a lot. You know what I mean? And Sandro Martin is a good boxer. He beat Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? And he beat Mikey Garcia not at his prime, but at the same time he beat Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, man,
and he's confident coming in, right?
Yeah, he is. You know what I mean? And I want to say that was his last fight, right? Or did
he did,
oh, you're right.
He did earn another victory.
Yeah, you're right. He fought again after that, and he did win. But I want to say Sandro looks a lot bigger than Teofimo. But Teofimo possesses that power, that speed, that quickness. So it's going to be an entertaining fight for me. You know what I mean? A boxer against just a guy that just has it all. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it plays out. I think Teofimo wins by decision, decision, but I don't think by knockout.
That's just a safe kind of like
bet. I just don't see him knocking Sandro out, honestly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good analyze. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. We were talking earlier. Once a fighter suffers his first defeat, like Teofimo Lopez did to Kambosos, his opponents come into the fight a lot more confident. Bad Chaz, what does that mean for Teofimo?
Oh, you know what I mean. I think that he might have some troubles. You know what I mean. Like if he gets hit, you know what I mean. Like it might kind of take him back to somewhere that he doesn't want to go. And I think that if somebody can break that mental game down, I mean, they own you. You know what I mean? So I mean, it doesn't know what their capabilities are. You know what I mean? Right. So I mean, hopefully, that's not the case. Hopefully, Teofimo, he's somebody that I'd like to kind of see get back into the game and compete, in that division and stuff, and do well in 140 pounds. And I hope that he can rebound, from some of those dark places that he's went, from some of his losses. So yeah. I don't know if Sandor Martin possesses that power to kind of
slow him
take
down,
him there,
maybe.
you know what I mean,
Yeah,
or kind of make him unstable mentally in the fight. I think Teofimo, he's going to have the power. So I think that if anybody's going to get robbed of that, it'll probably be Sandor Martin. But on the safe side of it, I'm thinking that he's just Teofimo will probably win by decision.
Yeah. All right, good point, guys. We all look forward to a great fight. Mm-hmm. Like I said, all the opponents that Teofimo faces from now on, they're game. They're looking to get score their biggest victory of their career. Yeah. Once they see somebody else do it, they say, why not me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but Teofimo's ready, man, and he, who knows, he'll prove us wrong and maybe blast out Martin. But that's why that's why we will tune in, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's turn our attention to the BLK Prime pay-per-view. New service that are throwing their hat into the boxing world as they will showcase Terrence Bud Crawford, a top pound-for-pound fighter, as he takes on David Avanesian over 12 rounds. Crawford, of course, is defending his WBO welterweight title. Bad Chaz, how do you see that fight, man?
Oh man! Anytime you get to watch Terrence Bud Crawford, it's just a great show. Great way to showcase some skills, man. Right. That guy can do it all. Yeah, I think that it's going to be a great fight. I don't really know too much about his opponent. What do you guys think?
I know David Avanesian. I think he's lost once. He's a fighter that comes in, with a high guard, has good power, but is clearly levels below Crawford. Man, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. I expect Crawford to knock out Avanesian. What do you think?
Yeah,
man?
you know what? I kind of agree with you. He's won his last 6 fights, but he doesn't bring a whole lot that Crawford hasn't seen. You know what I mean? I think Crawford it's just a payday. He got a big payday for this fight. Like, I want to say he's already has $5 million already that they gave him.
Right, and
then he's
later.
guaranteed another $5 million after the fight.
That's crazy.
So it's just a payday fight for him. You know what I mean? He's still saying that he wants Spence. That's the fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's the thing. You bring that up. Like, when this was announced, I was like, okay, so you didn't give us Spence fight, man. Like, so I wasn't even really excited, man. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if I guess we'll tune in, but we'll see. So what do you think, Bad Chaz?
Oh, you know what? Well, we kind of have to watch this fight. Terrence Bud Crawford's kind of like, holding all these belts hostage for the rest of the division.
Right.
So, it's kind of like, it's not the fight that we want to watch, or the fight that they've been telling us that he's going to have. But at the same time, we're kind of forced to kind of watch it so we can kind of see how things unfold with the rest of the fighters in that division.
I agree,
right?
man. I agree. Yeah.
I think we're all fans of Terrence Crawford and what he does, but it's just not the fight we want to see.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're all fans of just these studs, you know what I mean?
Right.
And hopefully he gets out of there in like 5 or 6 rounds, and we're just like even more excited to watch the Spence Crawford fight.
Yeah.
So.
Because ultimately, we want what's best for boxing, right?
Right.
So, all right, excellent overview on that, man. That'll be on BLK Prime. All right, guys, and lastly, we will preview a fight that'll happen on December 13th, which I believe is a Tuesday. For Undisputed, guys, in the 118-pound division, we have Naoya Inoue defending his WBC, IBF, and WA titles against the WBO champion Paul Butler over 12 rounds. Guys, I'm excited about this. Bad Chaz.
Man, that's a freaking one hell of a fighter right there.
Yeah.
The monster.
Really fast, real accurate, dangerous, man.
Power.
I think everybody's probably scared of that guy. He's that fast. I don't really know too much about his opponent that he's fighting, that Butler guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, he must have got some big balls to go in there with that guy.
Right, yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure he's going to give it his all. And like I said, this is for all the titles, for the undisputed 118-pound titles. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, do you expect Inoue to become undisputed?
Yeah, I do. I expect a knockout, dude.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's on a Tuesday. So I'm kind of like confused on how to watch this because I mean, like, am I gonna have to watch this? You know, like odd hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
like,
might be early morning
or late night.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Yeah. So I mean, monsters come in all shapes and sizes, dude. But we all know Inoue's just a monster.
Yeah,
dude.
man, he's bad.
Just crazy power, dude. Could knock you out
fighter.
with either hand, dude.
Right.
And super excited. I hope he becomes undisputed. And dude, he's just a badass, dude.
When was his last fight? He's kind of had like a little bit of a layoff, right?
No, I think he fought Nonito Donaire.
And knocked him out impressive.
When was that fight?
Ooh,
that was just maybe
earlier this year.
Yeah, dude. This year sometime.
Yeah, so he's not too inactive. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we look forward to that fight because, like we said, a new undisputed champion will be crowned, so it should be exciting
and well deserved if he beats him, dude.
Yeah, his stock is just going to go that much higher, man, and maybe even top pound for pound, man.
He's there already.
He's been, the top 3 for the last year or so. So I'm sure that's just going to, like I said, rise his stock up there. All right, guys, this takes us to our last segment. Well, we're going to introduce you guys to a fighter which has a style that you just simply can't prepare for.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the Drunken Master, Emanuel Augustus, a fighter out of Brownsville, Texas. What can I say, guys? This guy was entertaining, showboater. Most importantly, he freaking moved to his own rhythm in the ring, man. This guy literally was dancing in the ring, brother.
Right.
I don't know if you guys were able to see the highlights of him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Just skilled fighter, man. The way he controlled his feet.
Right.
If we were to describe this guy, you would think we're making this up, but no, man. Emanuel Augustus, a fighter that fought from 1994 all the way to 2011. What could we say? He gave the great Floyd Mayweather one of his toughest fights. Even Floyd Mayweather himself has said it himself that Emanuel Augustus was, pretty much his toughest fight. And what can we say, man? He's like dancing in the ring, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios.
Yeah, you know what? Just looking back on some of his highlights, man, something that impressed me like the most, and you guys probably won't think the same, is that he punched somebody with 2 fists at the same time, multiple occasions.
Right.
Dang.
And it did some damage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he just goes around and he just dances around him, and then he catches him with a jab, and then everybody that comes in, he's just gonna tag you, dude.
Yeah.
Because like he's dancing around, and honestly, like the way I would fight this guy is that I would punch to where he's not at. Because he's going to end up there.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's just dancing crazy. So you're going to have to kind of guess where he's going to be in the next couple seconds.
Right.
So if you look crazy punching somewhere he's not, he's going to end up there and you're going to hit him. That's just how crazy this guy was.
Brad, I was going to ask you, like, how would we fight this guy? I mean, and I'm sure a lot of his opponents were like, holy, like, what is going on here? Like,
am I at the disco or
right?
what?
Yeah, right.
Like, dang,
start
like,
dancing back with them and stuff.
Yeah. Like, he's got some funk. Like, that guy's got some funk in his combinations. You know what I mean? Like,
I think too many people took him too serious, dude.
Yeah.
And you got to train for the unexpected with this guy because, dude.
Talk about it, man.
Those highlights, man. Gosh, dude, I've never seen anything like that. I
me
never
either,
will.
me either. We never will. Yeah, that's what's so special about this fighter. And then there was a highlight, Bad Chaz, that you mentioned where he kind of did a quick
like it was like his famous his most famous move that he did in the ring, man, where he went from like one position and then he danced to transition into his other position and like
move like butter, man.
Like, man, I don't know, like he must have had like some James Brown going on his little record player in there.
You know what I mean?
Did he have headphones on when he was doing that? Because
I know, right? They're playing music.
Like, dude, he was listening to something in his head when he was doing it.
Exactly, man. So he went out to dance that night. You know what I mean? And he did well.
Yeah, and we hear he was a fighter that was on a bad decision, receiving in a lot of his fights, where he got the
last
the short
minute
end of the stick on the decisions,
they kind of,
and last minute, coming in days before. So a lot of his record, which was 38 wins, 34 losses, 6 draws, 20 KOs. So this guy was a veteran. He fought he fought the fights.
Right.
But like we said, he was often on the short end of the decisions, and like you said, coming in, days prior notice to fight. So his record doesn't really, portray the real skill that this man possessed. Ever hear Ryan Rios?
You know what? If when you hear like Sweet Science, that's got to be it, man, because he was a dancer, dude. And he had the fundamentals still. He had that jab. He had that short right hook, dude. He had a lot of stuff that you have to practice for. Yeah. But a lot of that stuff, like the dancing, came natural to him. And he just implemented all of that.
He implemented it into his boxing.
Dude, and it was just beautiful to see.
What if you had somebody like that today, like with the way boxing is now? Like, and he was like a
it's hard
YouTuber,
to say,
right? Right? Yeah. It's just unbelievable, man. Like when I look at it, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
Right?
And honestly, dude, like
one of a kind.
Being a judge, I can kind of see him making a mockery of the sport and him like
rubbing the judges wrong, maybe.
Exactly, dude, and not getting that nod because people are old school. You know what I mean? A lot of those judges, dude, know boxing for what it was, not what it is now. And so I can see him not getting the nod on some of those close decisions just for the fact that he's just flamboyant and just having fun and just doing what he knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you learn any new dancing moves that you might try out from?
No, dude, but I knew some new hairstyles, dude.
Right. Every fight he looked different.
He looked different every fight. So I was like, dude, is that the same guy? Yeah. He looked all genders, dude, all nationalities. Yeah. I mean, just a cool cat, bro. Yeah. I wish I would have seen him live.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well said, man. Yeah. So I hope you guys like this segment. Emanuel Augustus. Boy, was he special.
Yeah, he was.
Special fighter. And, I don't think we'll ever see another Emanuel Augustus again.
Never.
At least not in our lifetime. All right, guys. Well, we have sad news out of the boxing world. The passing of legendary referee Mills Lane, dead at the age of 85. We would like to send our heartfelt condolences to the Lane family. Of course, he was a legendary referee, refereeing such big fights as Mike Tyson against Evander Holyfield 2, Riddick Bowe versus Evander Holyfield. Just a top tier referee, man, respected in the game, and we're sad to see him go. With that said, guys, let's give him the honorable 10 count. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our podcast. Any shout outs, Neighborhood Ryan Rios?
Yeah, dude, I want to shout out Tom Lopez. Tom Lopez gave me the shirt, Who shirt.
Oh,
he
cool,
went to
man.
the concert. He's from Boyle Heights, dude. Just a stand-up dude.
That's dope.
Love the dude. Also, a shout out to my boy, my ride or die, Sing Money. Always a good time hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, good. I'd like to shout out our brothers from the East Coast, from Miami, Florida, the And Still boxing podcast. Great guys. Go ahead and check them out. They're doing their thing on the East Coast, man. Bad Chaz.
Oh, you know what? Just the people that continue to watch the show and leave some comments in the comments section. We always appreciate that feedback and giving us some ideas. And glad to know you guys like to watch the show. So keep tuning in.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. And of course, shout out to our camera guy Liam, sound guy Rob.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, you guys.
And with that said, guys, I am your host, Coach D, along with neighborhood hero Ryan Rios and Bad Chaz. And we're out, guys.